What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the Tug of More.
We are here.
That's
We're
right.
alive.
Yep.
We're ready to rock.
You know, this is just a conversation between two friends.
That's right.
About where we are, where we know that we're called to be. There's a fight, a tension, a struggle to get there, and that is the Tug of More.
Guys, we know this. I'm not a good pretender.
Truston is never a good pretender. He would be the worst poker player and would definitely lose all the time.
You see, this today is not yet Easter.
No.
Easter hasn't happened yet. But you're watching this after Easter, and so I kind of don't even know what to do.
His brain is doing a short circuit of because how do we talk about something that hasn't yet happened?
Yeah.
But then I was like, hey, a lot of times we don't even talk about what the week it is, and we just make a podcast. But Easter's a big deal around here, so I think that's why it's hard for you to move past it.
Yeah, because like you're hanging out with us watching this on a Tuesday, and Easter's already happened.
Yeah.
But we're gonna say some stuff that I want to just tell you about what just happened, but I don't know what's going to happen. What if it's not good? You know what happens every time we do an event? I have a little bit of terror that nobody's going to show up.
Yeah, but like not like that the regular number of people will show up. You have a terror that literally no one, like it'll be a birthday party where you only have one friend from school.
Yeah, it's like me preaching to my mom.
Yeah, and I'm like, how is that even possible when all the people literally came last week? They're going to at least come back this week.
That's true. This last Sunday, we had record attendance.
That's true.
The week before Easter record attendance, we didn't do anything special.
No.
We didn't even do Palm Sunday. We did, we did Palm Sunday, but we didn't do...
We said Happy Palm Sunday, but we didn't do like Hosanna and the kids waving the branches and all the things. Did you do that as a kid?
Hosanna.
Yeah, we would walk in.
Hosanna in the high.
I don't remember the song.
What?
I just remember the palm branch that I would wave.
You know what song I want to sing every Palm Sunday?
What?
Palm, 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 palm.
That's ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
Y'all remember Cisco?
Yeah.
I want to do the Palm song, but I don't ever do it.
On Palm Sunday, you want to
do palm. Have kids dance with the palm leaves.
Hey, they can do it. We have this tree right here. You know what is funny about our team and our church that I love so much?
Why are you going to do me like this?
Is that
you're supposed to not even bring it up.
I know, but I just remembered it because it's in my peripheral vision. So a few weeks ago in service, you were telling the people about like how to take pictures, post about your church, invite people all the time. You could take a picture of me. You were like, but just don't take one when I look like this. And you did this, like you stuck your belly out and you stuck your tongue out and
made the ugliest face ever.
And then I think it was actually Easton got the picture. He snapped it in the moment because you did it first, sir, so he knew it was coming in second. He caught it. And then he and Julia have now taken it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And they posted everywhere. They printed, and now I don't even remember what used to be in this frame. This is a frame.
Probably a picture of Jesus.
It's a frame from my office. So it was it was a map of Mansfield. Which
it was a map of the place we're reaching.
We're not in Mansfield anymore, though.
So forget y'all. We're just gonna tease me
instead. And so here's an up close picture of what is on that picture frame. It's very funny.
Here's a funny picture of Whitney. How's that feel? How's that feel, sucker?
We talk about this all the time. You are the best teaser. Like,
I know,
you
that's
are
true.
a funny. You tease all the time, and then when you get teased, you're like 7, and you're like,
I'm 7.
Well, guys, do you love me?
But
Why did you tease me?
do you actually think I look like this?
Why did you tease me? Because you love me. Why do we tease you? Because we love you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you have to see it that way.
So this picture is now all over the church. I can't do anything about it.
You can't escape it. It's really funny. But you done did it to yourself.
I did it to myself. Dude, Easter is coming.
Yeah.
But I think it was great. Today I went to the gym and I told Kyle, I said, hey dude, we got to invite all these people.
Yeah. I saw you.
He said, what? I said, today's the day. I said, I've got a relationship with about a dozen people in this room.
Yeah.
That like I've invited, but I haven't like turned the screws on.
I saw you talking to the podiatrist.
Yeah, we have a handsome podiatrist.
He is handsome and tall.
He's like
if he starts listening to this, I'm gonna get real embarrassed.
He's like 6'5".
Yeah, he's
doctor, full head of hair.
Yeah, he's very nice.
Good smile.
Yeah.
He's married.
No, right. He's a nice guy.
But so I invited him.
I saw you talking to the other guy. I don't know his name.
There's 2 guys. There's a guy at the gym that gave me a shirt. Did we talk about this yet on the podcast?
No.
So there's this guy I became kind of buddies with, and he was wearing a shirt that says, it's a red shirt. Maybe we can just put a picture in.
Of you wearing it on Sunday.
Do we have
Don't we have a picture of
you? Oh,
yeah.
So here it is. It says catch up with Jesus.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's this guy at the gym. He's wearing the shirt, but it's cut into a tank top.
Oh,
and so
okay.
I go up to him
You
like,
haven't cut yours into a tank top
and I say, bro, I used to have this shirt. And and I've never talked to him before.
Yeah.
And he starts talking to me in a thick accent.
Yeah.
And it's him, he's a Hispanic guy, and he's got his buddy with him, he's a black guy.
Okay.
And they're like bodybuilders,
Yeah.
like yoked the junk
so
up.
now you are the tiny little man next to these giant men. Okay.
Thank you for that. And so anyways, I'm talking about this shirt that I used to own as a child. And so then like 3 days later, he comes up to me, he's like thick accent, like Ecuadorian accent or something. And he's like, I bought you this shirt. It's like, thank you so much, man. And so I worked.
But I have a bone to pick with you.
But wait. And so I took him a shirt.
Oh, you did? That's what I was about to ask you.
Yeah. I took him and the guy, I took him some double XLs.
Tug of More, right?
Tug of More t-shirts.
That's right.
And they were so happy.
Good. Okay, I was going to ask you.
And he immediately put it on and started working out in it.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And
okay.
so I turned the screws. And then I gave him the Easter invite card and I turned the screws. So I got the podiatrist.
We can't tell you if they came or not because we don't know yet.
We don't know. Then there's this other little lady. She's short and she's a she's like a, she looks like she used to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You know how they,
Yeah.
And so I saw her over there flexing in the mirror.
Okay.
And so I went over and I said, what's up? You prepping for a contest? And she started laughing. I've talked to her before.
Yeah.
So I gave her an invite.
That's good.
Bunch of people. I don't even know them all. I invited the lady at the front desk. Her name's Barbara.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
She knows my name. She knows
Yeah.
my kid's name. She knows if Kyle beats me. So I was like, I have to learn this lady's name.
She literally will be like, I already checked you in sometimes to me.
Yes.
And I'm like, how do you even know? But
Barbara.
she knows.
I had to look
Barbara.
at her name tag real good.
Oh, that's how you did it.
But so I'm talking to the podiatrist. Podiatrist?
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, do you have a bone to pick with me first?
No, I did because I got those shirts for like we pulled them out of the closet like 2 weeks ago, and I've been asking you if you gave them to him and you did
I haven't seen them.
And so then I was like, "Are you gonna give him the shirt?" So my bone was to pick with you was why haven't you given him a shirt? But now you have, so good.
So the podiatrist, I actually learned something very valuable while I was talking to him today. So I invite him to church. Say, hey man, like I joke with this dude every morning. We see each other, right? And so I talk with him a little bit, and I invite him to church, and he kind of blows me off a little bit, like, you know, man, I didn't even realize Easter was Easter.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and so he's like, man, my wife might like have a plan. I said, well, hey man, you should come to church. I said, I'm a pastor here in Arlington, and he goes, oh yeah. I said, yeah, and which I was like, okay, and so because I've mentioned it before, but he's not paying attention, I guess, and so. I say, yeah, you should come. And I can see the no on his face.
Right.
And so I say, do you have kids? And he says, yeah, I don't know, he's got 3 kids, like under 12.
Yeah.
And I said, that's cool. Me too. I have 2 kids under 12 and Kyle's standing there and he has a little one. And so I said, yeah, on Sundays we'll have like 200 kids come. And he goes, what? I said, yeah, we'll have like 200 kids come on a Sunday. And he's like, that's crazy. and I realized something. When you say the word church to somebody, they all get a picture in their head.
Yeah. Everybody has a predetermined picture in their head.
Everybody has a predetermined picture. If you say breakfast to someone, they get a predetermined picture. If you say breakfast to one person, they think a bowl of cereal.
Yep.
You say breakfast to another person, they think chicken and waffles.
Right.
You say breakfast to another person, they think bacon and eggs. You say breakfast to Rachel, she thinks tortillas and beans.
Yep.
Anyways, while I'm talking, God just starts downloading all this into my head while I'm talking to him. And so I realize this guy thinks church is not what we do.
Correct.
I don't know what he thinks it is, but it's not what we think.
Yeah.
And so Kyle starts telling me, yeah, man, we're doing photo booths for the family. We're hanging big curtain on the wall. And he's standing there like, what? I said, yeah, we got a peep Jeep. He's like, a what? And we tell him about the peep Jeep. We're going to have a petting zoo. And he's like, wait a minute. This is at church?
Right.
He said, it's free? I said, yeah, dude, it's free. And so we hit him with all the hooks, and you know what, by the time we were done, he might show up.
He might actually be here.
So I gave him the invite card. He took it out, took a picture of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what maybe he sent the picture to his wife. I don't know what he did with it.
People are always looking for things to do with their kids. So,
but here's what I'm saying.
What a great thing. Yeah.
As we're inviting people, they have a predetermined picture in their head. When you say the word, I'd like to invite you to church, they might think like 1970s Baptist, wood paneling, organ,
boring as a mug,
turn or burn,
falling asleep.
They might think of that. They might think of Catholicism.
Right.
They might think of, I don't know what they think.
Yeah, standing, sitting, having to quote things from the wall, like
some other language that they don't even know.
Yeah.
And so
you never know.
Man, it just so many thoughts about how we need to teach people to invite we have to paint a picture.
Yeah.
For people to know what we're doing around here.
Well, we say it that we have to, now I'm like, what do we say? Get rid of some of the barriers.
Yeah.
Like remove some of the barriers for people, because maybe they got super hurt in a church. Maybe they got super judged in a church when they were kids. Like you and I grew up back in the day. We couldn't wear jeans to church. I now, as a woman pastor, wear jeans on many Sundays.
With holes in them.
And
back in the 90s,
I had to fight with my mom.
Hell.
Yeah, I had to fight with my mom to wear them on a Sunday night. Like it was a big deal.
I had to wear leather shoes.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't wear sneakers.
Now you preach in sneakers. Like one, for especially people our age, if they went to church when they were a kid, the world of church would never have gone back in since their 20s.
Yeah.
The world is a totally different place than it used to be.
Yeah. So I had that encounter today, and I wish that I would have thought about saying that before Easter to our people. We're going to talk about, we're doing a series, Fill Heaven. We're going to do it one more week post Easter. And so that's going to be good.
Well, because Easter's not the only time we need to tell people about Jesus.
There's another dude that I invited today. He's a big dude.
The black tank top guy.
Big white guy?
Yeah, I saw you across the room. You guys were talking to him a long time, and I was like, oh, they're about to get this guy saved.
Yeah, talked to him for a long time. Well, you know what he hit me with? He hit me with the whole, well, you know what I believe is as long as you're a good person.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter, Buddha, Allah, Gandhi. He starts saying stuff, and I'm like... like names that I'm like, wait, what?
Who is
like
that?
not Kermit the Frog, but like
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, like stupid stuff. And so he's like, and then I'll love to come visit your church and see what you're about. And I'm like, okay, like you have no theology, but you have some beliefs.
Yeah.
But they're just based in like being a good person. But what is a good person? By whose merit?
Yeah.
This is the trouble with...
What moral standard?
This is the trouble that you go to heaven if you're just a good person. Because a good person is different in
for everyone.
For everybody.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Because some people that would be good to one are the opposite to the other.
Correct. Right.
And so, I don't know if he'll come.
That
dude's strong. He's the kind of guy that you feel like you're 8 years old if you work out next to him.
Yeah, he looks like a tough mamma jamma.
Yeah.
That's good.
We passed out a bunch of cards.
Yeah, I didn't. I just stood there with my earphones on.
Okay,
this is my problem at the gym. I go there and I want to be. I wish to be left alone. Like that's how I feel. I go by myself. I stay in my little circle, and then I'm like, hello. I try not to talk to very many people.
Well, I can imagine that for a girl, it's probably a different experience.
Yeah, a little bit. But
at the gym.
Yeah, I talk to the people I know. If I see you, I'm like, hey, what's up? But that's about it. So maybe I should. Now I'm convicted. I've got a few more days. I can invite a few people.
I saw Aaron at the gym. That dude's sweaty as a mug.
He always is. That's how he rolls.
Aaron works out. It looks like that dude just jumped out the pool.
Yeah. That's how I roll. The one benefit of that is that my husband is never a smelly guy. It doesn't matter.
He just gets it all out.
Because all the toxins come out because he sweats so bad.
It all flushes out.
Yeah, that's true.
I sat in the sauna today before I came home, and I walked in the door, and Rachel goes, "What happened to you?" It's like, "What do you mean?" She says, "You're all red." I was like, "Oh, I sat in the sauna." That's what happened.
That's what happens to me when I work out. My face is
Winnie be looking...
like a red tomato like your shoes. Yeah. That's what happens to me. I don't know.
Looking like Bob the Tomato.
Great. Now we're going to have that picture and Bob the Tomato around here.
Yeah, you be looking like Bob the Tomato.
Okay. It's ridiculous.
Okay. We're talking about inviting people.
Yes.
Right? Foot doctor, hamburgers.
Okay.
Breakfasts, all the things.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I know, is that sometimes you invite somebody and they don't immediately come.
Right.
You invite them and then they don't show up, and then you feel like your invite was trash. You feel like your invite was made no purpose. But you know what I know is that sometimes you just have to be a person in somebody's life for a long time.
Right.
Before they come. So like some of these people that I did the big... And when I say I turned the screws, I didn't really turn the screws. I just gave a very direct invite. Hey, this is Easter Sunday. Yeah. I would love for you to be my guest. I hope that you come. Here's what we're doing.
Right.
I hit them with all the stuff. But they might not come to Easter, but they might come at Christmas.
Right.
Or they might come when their life falls the freak apart, and they just need somebody to talk to.
You know, something in sales, when I was in sales, they always told us that you're going to get 9 no's for every 1 yes. That you're going to have to ask 10 times before you get an actual yes. Because if you don't understand that and actually like get it, you're going to get your feelings hurt and you're going to want to quit really fast. And I think the same is true in the inviting. We invite with all intention of like love and encouragement and hoping they come and all things, but then we can't get offended or hurt or insecure if they don't show up. You talked about it just a couple weeks ago on Sunday that you invited Kyle, who you now work out with, for years and like invited him a long time, but it actually wasn't until someone else invited him that he was like, oh, well, Truston and the guy's been telling me about it. Maybe I should go and try it out. And the truth of the matter is you were a seed that was planted in his life that then in the moment that he needed it, in the right season of his life, when someone else told it to him, that seed then flourished and grew. And so I think understanding that like, hey, it's on you to extend the invite, but it's not on you what happens. And it's not that you sucked. Because the truth of the matter is...
It's not that you didn't do a good enough job inviting.
Yeah, like you just said, you learned some things about how to invite better. This guy probably pictured 7 kids in a room with a little carpet and some coloring books. And then he realized, wait a minute, what? Your church is like this? Oh. And so you learned some things about how to invite, but that doesn't mean the last 3 invites you gave to somebody else where you didn't say, we got 200 kids and all these things, was bad. It was just you were planting seeds and sowing seeds into what you hope would come and work out.
You know, you hear the story of Johnny Appleseed? He just had this big bag of seed and he walked around and he just threw the seed in the field. And I think that sometimes we get so like overwhelmed with, am I going to do it right? Am I going to say it right? Am I going to turn them off? Whatever. But like, you never know that what people are going through. You never know if somebody like really needs encouragement or needs like that if they've been wrestling with God. And that what they needed was just somebody to see them. And I think that those invites can turn into something a lot bigger than what we know.
Well, if we really believe that, like, which we do, that there's one way to heaven, that there's one gospel that's truth, and that this is the answer that everybody needs, then we should be spending our life. That's a great illustration of Johnny Appleseed. We have the truth. We have the good news. Why are we not spreading it around everywhere all the time? We should be. I just bought your wife for her birthday some shoes that they didn't come in until just this week, but her birthday's in March. But like, I bought her some shoes because they are recently my favorite shoes. They're my favorite shoes that I was like, oh, I love to wear these because I was wearing some Adidas, some other ones, and my feet were hurting, and I know that she has foot issues, and I'm like, hey, these are like cute, dressy tennis shoes that are also really comfortable, so let me buy them for you because I love you and because I don't want your feet to hurt and because I want you to be cute and it's your birthday. I do that with people I love all the time, but we are unwilling to share the greatest gift all the time because we're afraid that they might not show up, that they might not say yes, that they might not like it. But I know that my shoes are really great, comfortable shoes. Rachel doesn't know yet, but she's going to try them. She's going to check it out. And so in the same way that we're
willing... But had you not invested, she would never know.
It's true. She might not, because hey, you should buy these. Hey, you should buy this. But she's been buying all kind of shoes and trying to find all kind of shoes, and they never fit, never work out. But being willing to take the time to say, hey, here's something I think is for you and I think will be good for you. But we should be willing to do that when it comes to church. And how much less of an investment is 30 seconds to say, hey, come with me.
I talked one of the weeks about how we have 2 different groups of people in our life. We have the random people and then the relationship people. Let's dig into that a little bit.
Okay.
That these people at the gym are they're random. They're just people I kind of know their names, but I know very little details about their lives. And so that's a random invite. So is that one that stresses you out?
Or we talked about this before.
Is that harder for you to do the random?
Yes, until I was friends with you and Rachel, random for me was, I probably had a misguided idea of it. I think that in my mind, I thought it wasn't sincere. I think I convinced myself that wasn't as sincere as someone that I knew. And so I'm just inviting, I'm just throwing it out there. And I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable with it. And then I convinced myself that was like, I don't know, not as big a deal. And so I would instead be like, oh, I really need to invite the people I know in my life. but both are valuable.
Right.
Both are necessary. And when I got to know you and Rachel in my life, that's when I was like, oh, I should be doing this more often. Why am I only waiting until I have relational change in my pocket with somebody before I'm telling them the truth of who God is? That's ridiculous. And before I'm inviting them to even just come to church, much less make Jesus Lord and Savior of their life. But I don't know, for really, I thought about it a lot because I said it to you a few weeks ago, and I've been thinking about it because I'm like, I don't know why, but for some reason, I think the way I was taught, I really don't know. But I really think until I knew you, I was like, I never considered that is a really crazy thing. But I've been thinking about it since I said that to you a few weeks ago. Like, why did I have such a hard time with it? Because now I don't. But then I definitely did. Yeah. And I think I really do think there was a part of me that was like, that's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to invite the people that I know and love. And I don't know. That's a weird thing. But
no, it's both.
Yeah, but it's both.
I think that the random people, I ran into, I was getting gas and like my card didn't work.
Yeah.
Which is the worst.
So frustrating.
And so I ran into a QT, a Quick Trip the other day. And there's the guy standing behind the counter and he's like 20. And so I buy my gas and I pull out a card, invite card, and I go, hey man, I don't know if you have a place for going to church in Easter. Would love to have you.
Yeah.
And he was like taken aback a little bit because like this, who knows what this guy's going through?
Right.
Who knows what his night was like? Who knows what's going on in his life? And I think that people probably see him as an automaton. They see him as a non-human, like a robot. Like just push the button, give me my gas, I need some cigarettes. They just don't,
check me out.
They don't interact with him as a human.
Right.
And so I think when we see the people as humans,
it's really good.
It's, they feel that.
Yeah.
We feel that when someone sees me as a human out, like in my regular life, I feel connected.
Well, when you said I was thinking about it, it's so random, but I was at Trader Joe's the other day and I bought the same hummus dip over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And the girl next to me saw me looking at my hummus dip and she goes, actually, have you tried this one? It's incredible. You're going to love it. She doesn't know me, but why does she want me to have a great hummus experience? I don't know. Yeah. But she was also correct. I'm like, why have I not been buying this hummus forever? But there was something about the fact that like, oh, okay, that I tried the different, I didn't get the hummus I've been getting. I got this one instead. And you're so right. We never know the moment that.
But that girl made an impact on you.
Yes.
And so the return
about hummus.
So the return is you could say, hey, wow, thank you. I'm going to buy it. Hey, I know we just met, but I'd love to invite you to my church. I don't know if you're looking for a church. I'd love to invite you to church. And she can be like, you know what? Screw you. I hate God. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Or she could be like, wow, you know what? I was been really depressed and I've been praying that God would let me know he loves me.
You never know.
You never know. And I think that if Christians would just live their life throwing out some seed, that we would see a lot more fruit.
Really and truly. Really and truly.
And then like the longer you're in the church world, the less relationships you have with people that are far from God.
Right.
Like for me, I work at a church.
Yeah.
So like all of my coworkers,
they know God.
They know God.
Yeah.
And so like
they're in relationship
I'm not
with Jesus.
Leading Enrique to Jesus anymore.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And so out in the world, I think the random is an outlet.
Yeah.
Especially now for me.
Right, for sure. No, now
I don't have as many relationships. When you were working at the mall.
Oh yeah. Everyone I was in relationship with in that job. Very few had a relationship with Jesus. Yeah. Everybody that I encountered was an opportunity to engage with them and let them know about God or invite them or pray with them or whatever it was. But then, once you become a professional Christian, I guess, it is a lot harder. And if not the random, then who would we, who would you and I mean, we all have a person in our lives that a friend, a relative, somebody. But I think that's the other piece is like, I can't put all my eggs in that basket. If I'm going to only put all my eggs in that basket, then I'm not going to make a very big impact.
Well, if I'm not going to talk to anybody about Jesus until they get saved, then I might be waiting a long time.
Right.
And so I think that you've got to read the room. Like when you're inviting a random person, you know, like I was at Chipotle the other day and there was a long line and there's like 20 people behind me in line. everybody's trying to get the Chipotle bowl. They're running out of guacamole. That's not the time for me to invite the girl behind the Chipotle line. That's not. Because now I'm insensitive to kind of her stress.
Her current situation.
And so do I still see her as an eternal soul that needs salvation?
Yeah.
Yes. But I also know, dude, I'm going to make Jesus look weird right now if I try to invite her. And so there's a social awareness I think that we need to have. Like when I'm at the QT, there's nobody else in line.
Right.
I'm walking in, I'm getting gas. There's maybe a dude getting a Slurpee or something in the corner. Bam, card, peace out. I'm done. I just went and picked up my jacket. I wore an ambassador jacket. And so I'm there at the dry cleaner place because that jacket was in my attic for like 10 years.
Hey, that looked good on you.
It fit good. What's up?
I know. I was impressed. I was like, bro, that looked good. That's like 15 years old.
It's old. And so I invited the lady at the...
Yeah.
But it was so easy.
Yeah.
I said, man, I haven't worn this jacket in a long time as ambassador. I'm using it for my sermon illustration. Sermon illustration? I said, yeah, I'm a pastor. Hey, man, I'd like to invite you to our Easter service. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you so much, sweetie. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's coming.
Yeah.
But I read the moment that it's appropriate.
Correct.
To do it.
Another, as you're saying that, I'm like, another not appropriate place is to just leave it on the table at a restaurant. Like,
yeah.
The intentionality
that's called trash.
A personal. That's just leaving trash on the table. But you got to be personal with it. Even though it's random, it's still personal.
Yeah.
You're still looking them in the eye. You're still talking to them. When you said that, I'm like, yes, that just made me think of that.
Years ago, we had a youth pastor here that they took a bunch of teenagers like to Target and Walmart with invite cards, and they hid the invite cards all throughout the store. And it just caused a disaster because like the people at Target now have to go around or just have to clean that up.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a youth pastor, I heard somewhere that like for every piece of print material, you print 100, you get one.
Yeah.
So we literally printed 100,000 cards.
Okay.
And we bundled bundles of 50 and gave them to teenagers. And on the stage, I said, I want you to throw these around your school like confetti. What do teenagers do? They're in the cafeteria making invite cards rain. And I got an email from one of the principals.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, hey, Truston, our janitor.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
this is a huge.
That janitor is never coming to your church.
That janitor hates God. Yeah. And so that was not aware.
Right.
Of like the social situation.
It's really good. Yeah. No, it's important. Okay. You're talking about random. Now talk about relational, because I think that is also an important reading of the relationship.
Okay.
I think it's important that if we have people in our life that we love, that we want to know God, chances are good we've probably already at some point invited them, said something about it. Maybe we haven't. If you haven't, you should. But what do you think is a best practice? Okay, go.
Well, yeah, let's define the levels of relationship.
Okay.
Because a brother or a sister is very different than a coworker.
Correct.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, you're in relationship with a coworker.
Absolutely.
Differently than you're in relationship with your brother or your sister.
Absolutely.
And so I think that first you've got to define like where are my boundaries and like what damage in the relationship currently exists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that some of that has to be taken into account in how we're doing the invite.
Yeah, I think that's just such a. I talk to people all the time who either are like, "Well, I've been telling them, I've been saying, I've been trying," but then when you kind of unpack what they've been saying and how they've been saying it, we got to be gentle to approach it with our relationships in a way that we don't burn a bridge relationally.
They're like, I've been telling them smoking cigarettes going to send them straight to hell.
Right.
I'm not sure that's evangelism.
Right. And the idea that like, if every time they see you coming, all they think is, oh, Truston's about to invite me to his church again.
So glad you brought this up.
He's about to talk to me about God again.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. Then probably you're not handling that relationship correctly.
Yeah.
And sometimes as a mom, I had to learn to choose my battles with my kids. I had to learn to pick my battles of what things I was going to fight them on and which things I was going to say no to, what things I was going to say yes to. So I didn't get out of balance in my parenting. Did I want them to grow up godly kids who loved God and didn't ever screw up or make mistakes. Sure. But I knew they're human. And so I had to give a little give and take. And the same is true in relationship with people when you're trying to show them Jesus. We can't just shove it down their throat either and make them feel like we're the holy one and they're the loser one. It's a really important thing that I think sometimes we screw up because we're eager and we want them to get it and we want them to understand it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think that if they're a coworker level relationship, right?
Yeah.
They're just like a step above acquaintance.
Yeah.
But like them,
you're not necessarily every day in their life, but you
have met their spouse.
Yeah.
You know the name of one of their kids.
Right.
Whatever. I think that then we are inviting them to the good.
Correct.
We're inviting them to the experience.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily beating up the issues in their life.
Correct. Really good. Delineation.
I'll swing the punch. Get them here.
Right.
And me and the Holy Spirit will work out some stuff in them.
Correct.
But like what we're inviting them to is the family photo booth. What we're inviting them to is the house party celebration. What we're inviting them to is the music. What they're inviting them to is community.
Yeah.
I think that we're asking them to come to us to a great restaurant.
Right.
In the same way this girl said, she didn't say to you, don't eat that hummus.
Right.
She said, you have to eat this. This hummus is my
amazing.
favorite.
Yeah.
I think we invite them to our favorite. You know what I mean?
That's really good.
And if they give you a little glimpse into their life of hurt, then we can pastor that. We can love that. We can pray for them.
Right.
And then say, hey, you know what? Every week, our church, they have prayer partners.
Yeah.
And they have like these elders, these people that have like loved God for a long time. And they'll pray with you about what's going on. Invite them to the good.
It's really good. Invite them to the good. Okay. So then what about the other relationships? The deeper, the family, the people you see at Christmas, whatever it is.
Yeah. I would say before you say anything to them, you got to say something about them to God. That's called prayer. I think that it's best to start praying for somebody before we start trying to use our man-made wisdom.
Yep.
Because then that's how we get stuff screwed up.
Yeah.
Because what God might tell you is to just stay quiet.
Right.
God might tell you, like, you're not the voice. There's already been too much said. You, for some reason, have lack of credibility with them, and you've got to rebuild trust for 3 more years.
Yeah.
And so, like...
Or it could be that they already know where you stand. They already know that you serve God, and they're on their own journey, and just you living your example of your life while loving them well is going to do a better job than you continuing to, and even inviting them to the good can be harmful sometimes when you know where they're at in their journey. People that you're close to in your life, you know where they're at. Maybe you know their hurts, maybe you know their difficulties. And sometimes, being able to just keep loving them well through it is not affirming it. It's just loving them, knowing that you've already spoken truth in their life. And you don't need to speak any more truth. Now you just need to love and let God work out the rest.
I think that for people like that we're in a relationship with, that we don't really know how to handle, that we can pray for them. But then we can also let the Bible do its job. The Bible says that God's word doesn't return void. That means that when it's planted, it produces. And so sometimes there's been people in my life that need a lot of correction from me. But instead of giving them correction, what I give them is a Bible verse. Not about the area that they're messing up. I know they're having a hard time. I say, hey, man, I want you to know that Galatians 6:9 is, do not become weary in doing good, for the proper time you reap a harvest if you don't give up. Hey, man, don't give up. You're going to make it through it, man. God's with you. He loves you. He cares for you. Like, sometimes I think that Pastor Phil said the other day in our Devo, it was so good, I wrote it down. He said, encouragement is the bullet to shoot discouragement. And I was like, man, sometimes when we have friends that are lost and don't know Jesus, we think that what they need is death, hell, and the grave.
Right.
But what they might
Turn or
need,
burn.
what they might just need is some love and some encouragement and some hope.
Yeah.
And I think that we forget about the power of hope.
It's really true.
And like, like I know your story. And
Yeah,
that you've
yeah.
got some loved ones who are far from God, and like you could sit down and win them and beat them.
Yeah.
You could
Logic
sit down.
them.
You could logic them, and you could theologically
Right.
beat their lifestyle. But it's not going to work.
Right.
Now you're just an enemy, and what they
Right.
need is they just need you to be there and love them and faithful and invest in them and be
Yeah.
selfless.
A phrase I heard when I was young is it better to be right or to be loving? And it stuck with me because often, especially in speaking truth, we feel like, but I gotta make sure they know the truth. I gotta make sure they understand what's right. And that's true to a point,
Yeah.
but which is better? The love is the part that Jesus talks about the most. He talks about loving our neighbor as ourselves. He talks about showing love to one another, and like beyond speaking truth to people all the time, he talks about love so much that I think we miss some of the good we could do.
Dude, you're blowing my mind. I got to write this down or I'm going to forget it.
Okay, write it
Well,
down.
I'm going to say it and then I'll write it down.
Yeah,
You know what Jesus did is he loved first,
correct.
and then he gave truth second.
Right.
Remember the lady caught in the act of adultery?
Yeah.
He stops everybody from hitting her with rocks and
Right.
he protects her.
Right.
And he calls her daughter. He loves her.
And
then
then, right.
go and sin no more.
Right.
And I think that sometimes as Christians we get it so flipped and we want to give truth first.
Yeah.
Because we're right and you're wrong and we're better and you're worse.
And then we'll love you once you get it correct.
And then we'll love you. And I'm like, this is actually, Jesus went to Zacchaeus' house before repentance.
Right. Oh, he first loved.
And so the love, now truth has to follow.
Correct.
I talked about in my message on Sunday that this is not just love without truth isn't love.
Right.
But that we have to, I think, love the person first and show them that we care about them as a human being.
Right.
Before we just start dropping our bombs.
Right.
This week, as we're still before, I know you're watching this after Easter, but before Easter, I went through my phone and just started texting tons of people that used to come to the church or I've met in the area
Right.
that haven't came. And I got to a guy that I almost invited, but he is so angry and so boisterous.
Angry in his truth.
He's so angry in his truth and so boisterous on social media. He used to come to the church and doesn't go to another church, but yet he's a deep believer that I don't want him back.
Right.
Because he creates problems
More
because
harm.
he yells truth with no love.
No love. Right.
And like, I'm
Which does-
torn because I'm like, I want him back. He needs to be discipled. But I'm like, dude, I would rather reach people far from God. What's the Bible say? God, lukewarm.
Yeah.
I'd rather be hot or cold.
Right.
Or else
Spew
he's
you out of my mouth.
lukewarm. And I'm like, I'd rather just spew you out of my mouth, dude, because
Yeah.
I can't help you.
No, it's true. It's really true and good because I mean, we've heard the phrase before, but like truth, love without truth is meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
But truth without love is just mean. And I think we don't realize how often as believers we come off as mean people, thinking we're trying to save the world, but we're just mean. And like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to go to somebody's house that's mean. I don't
Correct.
want to go hang out and have dinner with people who are mean. And why in the world would an unsaved world want to come and connect with people who are just mean? That's silly.
Yeah.
And so showing them love and fun and Jesus is love first is, to me, is the most important thing.
Yeah.
For sure. What you're thinking? Lots
No,
of thoughts.
I have so many thoughts and I want, okay. I might put this in my message, but I'll talk about it. So if you're watching the tug team, then you're just getting a little insight
good.
to what I'm going to talk about.
It's fine.
I saw this guy at the gym. I know I keep giving gym references, but it's kind of my external outlet from this church building.
Right.
And so I see this guy and he's wearing a shirt that he says, everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster
That's ridiculous.
Everybody wants to be a gangster
It's true.
until it's time to shoot somebody.
Yeah, it's
until
true.
it's time to rob somebody. Until it's time to do some gangster. And you know the truth? Everybody wants to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Until it's time to do some Christian.
It's true.
We all want to be a Christian, ride the cruise ship until it's time to talk to our friend about Jesus.
Yeah.
We all want to be a Christian until it's time to start talking about giving. We all want to be a Christian
until it's time to serve.
Until it's time to show up early and serve. We all want to be a Christian until we need to actually raise our hands to give God glory.
Right. It's true.
And I took a picture of this guy's shirt across the gym. And I was like, I wish I could preach this.
You can. You just got to bleep that one cuss word out.
Everybody wants to be a gangster.
It's true. Yeah.
We all want to be Christians. Everybody wants to be a movie star until they have to stay in shape.
Yeah.
Or they got to wake up at 4 a.m. Or they got to, everybody wants to do stuff. And I'm just like, we all say we want to be Christians. Mm-hmm. But if we haven't invited anybody to church in 10 years, what good are we to the kingdom?
It's really good.
We're just another person God lets through the gates.
Yeah.
Like, what the junk are we, what are we accomplishing? If we're a Christian, but we haven't given $1 to advance his kingdom, what good are we?
Right.
If we're not serving on a team and we just go to a church, you know what we do? We soak up air conditioning.
It's true. Yeah.
Golly, it's the most, I saw that shirt and it hit me right in the soul.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I can preach that because it's really aggressive.
Why?
It's because it's so confrontational to the cruise ship mentality of American church.
Well, but teaching it to Christians is the difference between.
I know.
Because I think that's the part you said. We love them and then we bring truth. And I think that's the part, that's what I like about our church is that we very much confront truth, but in a loving way that you thought it last week. You thought that your message was hard. And I was like, no, man, it was just right on of truth in so much love. And that's because I'm like, you're 100% right.
It's because if the Christians in the world that call themselves Christians just did what they
knew they were supposed to do,
the whole world would be a different place.
Yeah.
100% of the world would be a different place.
Yeah.
But we just
get lazy.
We just don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't do it. This is not me throwing stones. I don't do it all the time. The big guy that you saw me and Kyle talking to, probably 4 weeks ago, I said to Kyle, hey, we need to start talking to this guy. He's there every morning, and me and Kyle, we kind of tease him. Just between us, me and him. Not tease him, but kind of like, man, this guy over... Because he's always grunting, and his shirts are too tight.
Yeah.
And I told Kyle, I was like, man, I'm kind of convicted. I feel like we just need to go and meet him. And I said, he's probably the nicest guy in the world. You know what? He's the nicest dude.
Yeah.
He looks scary.
Yeah.
But he's the nicest guy in the whole world.
Right.
And so I'm not throwing shade at you. I'm saying for me, sometimes I want to be a Christian until it's time to start doing Christian.
Yeah. Till it's time to forgive somebody. Till it's time to get over it. Till it's time to remember that Jesus died for me. So what am I doing? Holding a grudge.
Holy crap.
It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll preach. It's a whole series.
Do a series. Everybody wants to be a gangster.
You got to do it.
Would that be what we'd name the series? Or
I don't
everybody
know.
wants to be because I don't know. I think that's a rap song.
It probably is, but I don't. That's you. You're the rap guy. I don't know.
I'll have to listen to it. I almost put I was doing a story the other day. What story was I doing? Like on my Instagram, and I always put music under my things, and I was putting a song, and then I was playing it, and dude, it straight was the unedited. I was like,
you have to listen to them.
Yeah,
all
I had
the
to
way
listen
through.
to it. I was like,
yeah,
nope.
because if you don't, you're in trouble.
I almost got myself in trouble.
That's really funny. Anything else?
Yeah, dude. I hope that you had a good time at Easter.
Here's the thing. Next week, our brains will be so fresh, and so I don't know.
I'll say this.
What?
I don't think we've ever been as relaxed as we are going into this. No,
it's really amazing. This whole week, I've been like, oh, our whole team, they're super prepared. They're
having fun.
Yeah, they're above prepared. What's the word? Like they're extra prepared.
Yeah.
They're overly prepared. Everything's set in place. Everything's ready to go. And they're having fun doing it rather than instead in past it's been like, rah! We've all felt this stress. And I mean, some of it is because we have a building, but then some of it is just because we have great people on the team. And and we're having fun and we've been doing it a little while. So now we've learned how to make a church. So
guys, hopefully as you've been listening to this, you had some random people come to mind and some relationship people come to mind. And so listen, pick up your phone, get on Facebook Messenger, and send them a message.
Yeah.
Hey, been thinking about you. Hope everything's okay. Want to let you know God loves you.
That's good.
That's it.
That's all.
Just a touch. Just a little Jesus drop, and you never know what can grow from that thing.
It's really good. I hope you had a good Easter. We love you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
Love you. See ya.